The Irish get a nice feel-good win over rival Purdue to keep the Chalet League trophy in the Goog, but there is still work to be done.
By Samarja, inside the 20, inside the 10, he's going in! Notre Dame has scored!
Go! You will be that driving force to motivate those coaches and those players to beat Southern Cal!
Notre Dame is relevant again.
The 20, the 10, 5-5 rocket touchdown!
Notre Dame is number one!
It's a game of who's going to flinch first, and we know that isn't going to be Notre Dame.
Hello again, everybody. Landen Trailer, John Richards, and Logan Trailer today. Notre Dame defeats Purdue 56-30 to get the first win of 2025. Let's give it up, folks. First win. It's always good to get that first win feeling. Quite frankly, I forgot what winning felt like. I had to watch us play Ohio State in the Natty. Notre Dame basketball didn't do too much winning. Notre Dame baseball didn't do too much winning. And of course, the Cardinals, they forgot what winning is like. So, JR, it is great to be in the win column, finally.
Yeah, we're 1-2. Maybe we should be 2-1. Landon, you almost hit it on the number. I mean, you were pretty close. And the game pretty much turned out how I thought. I figured, and I said it in our preview, that we would be happy with the result, but we would not be pleased with how we got there. And sure enough, there's still an empty feeling on the other side, on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, we look great. CJ, unbelievable.
Man.
The kick return, our backs, like offense is starting to click and shine, right?
Yeah, right.
But defensively, major issues going on. And at this point, I don't know if you can blame the players because they look so lost at the messaging that they're receiving and the communication that they're getting.
Right.
The only thing that I can say is a positive. It felt like there was a switch or a change somewhere in the second half. The rain delay was odd. There was that long rain delay, and we just carried over from the second straight into the third. We treated the rain delay as our halftime. But, you were there. You could see the interactions taking place on the sidelines. We as television viewers really couldn't see the nitty gritty, so to speak. But it felt like somewhere between the third and fourth quarter, and you could see it play out on the field. It was like, oh, wait a minute. That looks like us again. I wonder if there was a change in communication that took place, specifically that game, play calling, whatever.
Right.
But I know this, Marcus Freeman's not going to stand pat. He's not going to sit still. And if he has to become directly involved, it looks like he will, and may have already. Probably.
Very true. Very true. He was in a mood, Marcus, all day. I will say that. I don't know if the television showed him. He yelled at a headset guy. His headset was going off. Chris Ash's headset went off as well. But outside of that, he was in a mood. I mean, he was very animated on the sideline, yelling up. I mean, he went up and down the sideline, just looking at the sideline, ripping everybody. It looked like on the he went into the defensive, when they go back to the benches, he went back there and started ripping them. So he was very animated, very frustrated. Like I said, it looked like he was in a mood all day. Rightfully so.
He gave an interview during the rain delay, too, that had an odd tone to it. You're right. He was not himself. He was urgent. He seemed determined. But something's going on. Something's definitely going on.
Good. Finally, it needs to happen. Logan, finally get that first win of the season. How does that change a mindset of a team that has been struggling? It wasn't pretty, but as a coach, you get that first win. That's got to change your mindset, right?
I think, winning's the reward of the work that you put in. And Obviously, we didn't expect our first win to be in week 3, but
True.
it's college football, and you hear coaches talk about it all the time that you can't take winning for granted, and they got it done. And was it perfect? No. Was it relieving? Like, no. Like, you wanted to see some things that get fixed, and they didn't. And so it's a win. You're 1-2 now. You're able to tell your team like the work that you did this week. You beat Purdue, and uh, there's got to be some things, and I know we're going to talk about it long term that Marcus is going to have to address. And the moodiness, I think Marcus, as we know, is a competitor. I don't think 0-2 sits well with really anybody in that program. And because listen, guys, like even last year, like we as fans know that there's an expectation of Notre Dame football, and there's an expectation of consistently competing for a championship. And you don't put yourself in a good position to do that if you start 0-2. And
Hmm.
you really, in reality, like we said last show, like we should be 3-0. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. I know we're going to get into it. So,
Let's get into it. Listen, some people may disagree with me. You guys may disagree with me, but that's fine. 30 points at home against Purdue, it's just simply not good enough. I'm not going to sit here and act how happy about winning against Purdue. 56 points worth of offense, 49, I believe, had the kick return. Offense played great. Awesome. I love to see it. Jay Love, Jay Price, all the Jays, CJ Carr, they were all awesome. They all did what they needed to do to win us the game, and they did. Uh, but there has been little to no adjustments on the defensive side of the ball. And that is where I have the issue. Before I get into my rant, Logan, as a coach, how I can compare this to our defense at Notre Dame. You're triangle and twoing somebody, they're just lighting your ass up. You probably switch out of it, do you not? Because it's not working.
yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm. Right.
you
And
prepare
Chris
for a
Ash has
team, but
not.
if you prepare for a team and you have a specific game plan, and I'm not going to sit here and say like your game plan always feel like ours always changed. I don't know, JR, as a coach, if we're always putting the time in to have a game plan, and then by mid first quarter, you're like, shit, that's not what we need to do. But yeah, like it's something that you hit it on the head, and I've liked for the first time in a while. I've agreed with pretty much everything you've said this year, and it's frustrating because as a coach, you're always having to adapt, and you're not seeing that right now. You're not seeing changes. You're not seeing accountability from the top down, and that's what's yes, it's frustrating, but it's scary because now it's like, oh shoot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't want to compare Chris Ash to Al Golden. Two completely different coordinators in the way they handle things. But I'll tell you what, if we got burned on a play, the very next defensive drive, Al Golden's going to make adjustments to where we don't get burnt the next time. I mean, look at the game against USC. I mean, for God's sake, 3 games in, it's the same shit with Chris Ash, and I'm so sick and tired. I'm getting a little heated right now, but we got a couple stops. Great. You could stop Purdue. We gave up 200 plus passing yards in the first half to some no-name Brown guy. I mean, it's just frustrating to see. That was back-to-back games. We've given up 200 passing yards in the first half. Mickens returns after coaching last year's elite group. So you're telling me that we have an elite secondary coming back. You cannot tell me that it is on Mickens. He is being forced to coach Chris Ash's bullshit scheme, in my opinion. That is my opinion, that he is being forced to coach alongside Chris Ash and coach his scheme, coach to what he is being forced to. He's not the defensive coordinator. He can't control the schemes. What he can do is put his secondary in a position to win. And unfortunately, with the scheme, it just doesn't work out. The D line, I don't know if you guys saw this, they ran into each other. They were running into each other on stunts. Stunts! And they're running into each other. Look, I'm not asking for a 66-7 game, but 56-30 is just awful. Yes, we won the game. I understand that we won the game. We did a lot of things we should have against Purdue. Okay? But we also allowed 30 points to an inferior opponent. And at times, that inferior opponent just absolutely shredded our defense. That inferior opponent picked our defense apart, and that is not okay. You could say, oh, we played a lot of young guys. Okay, and look at 2023 when Benjamin Morrison went down. We had to play a true freshman against Pittsburgh and Wake Forest, given they were inferior opponents. What did we do to those two inferior opponents? We beat the shit out of them with freshmen on the field the entire game. So you can't tell me it's a talent problem because we've played young players before. Al Golden has had to play young players in the past and it's worked. Congrats. If that's your excuse, we're playing young players. Congratulations. You can read a damn depth chart in the grade that the guy's in. Congratulations. And another thing, flip sides of the ball. Anthony
Red
Knapp.
is hot.
Anthony Knapp. What are you doing, my man? How many times are you going to sit there and whiff on a block? You're going to sit there and whiff. And it all comes down to the offensive line coach, in my opinion, Joe Rudolph. What are you doing? You have you have tackles playing guard. You have guard playing tackles. When you have guys on the bench who are perfectly capable of playing said position, I do not understand. Listen, I know we won the game. I get it if you're happy as a fan. I understand that. But don't hate me because I'm not thrilled that we beat frickin' Purdue. If you're happy, awesome. Congrats. I'm happy for you to be happy. People need to be happy sometimes. 56-30 over Purdue is not okay with me. It's not 66-7. I wasn't asking for 66-7 like last year, but 56-30 is just not okay. Not okay. JR, take it away before I have a heart attack, please.
I agree with you, but you shouldn't be surprised. You kind of picked that score.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
So yeah, it is unacceptable. And at one point, let's be honest, it was what, like 35-22?
Yes.
And then the rain hits and you're like, or the lightning, and there's this awkward delay and it's just weird. But hey, listen, and believe me, I'm FEO guy. I'm, next, right? We were kind of in a similar position a year ago. A year ago, after we lost to Northern Illinois, we were sitting here like counting Stanford, Marshall, Northern Illinois, and we were questioning, is Marcus Freeman the guy? And a year later, I feel comfortable that this is the guy that's going to lead us out of the dark forest. He hinted on a few things that I agree with. And maybe it's unfair at this point. We're 3 games in, this constant Al Golden, Chris Ash comparison.
Yeah, I don't mean to do that.
But the fact of the matter is we have zero identity on defense other than being an absolute sieve, right? So, the Miami game, okay, it's game 1. We're trying to work out the kinks. So were they, right? They were brand new, all put together. They look completely fine.
Right.
So a little bit of a pass. We performed well, but we lost at the buzzer. Then A&M, and all the holes are even wider, and the problems are even bigger
after a bye week.
And to Logan's question earlier, you start a game out and you have a game plan and everything's all set, and 5 minutes in you're like, oh shit, that ain't working, and you throw it out. And I kind of feel like Ash, he panicked, and now we're just you heard Freeman. He said we tried cover 0, cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, and we're just throwing things just to try them instead of trying to do what we can do best. Right? Simplify it. Go back to the basics. Rely on what your guys are effective at doing. And I don't want to hear, we got new guys, we got young guys playing, because we got a lot of old guys that have been there too. It's nice to see young show up. Heinisch has been there before. We've got linebackers that have been there before. We got guys in the secondary. Schuler came back after a half, and that's a big help. Mm-hmm. But what's our identity? What do we do well? I still don't know at this point. I have absolutely no idea. And it feels and it sounds like neither do our coaches. And they're trying to figure it out kind of on the fly now. And that's a scary thing to kind of watch play out. And we don't have a lot of time to go through and get right. We don't have get right games. We got a salty Arkansas team that thankfully maybe they got their problems too, but they're coming home. They're coming off a loss. We got to refocus and we got to come together and figure out how we're going to be, what we're going to look like, and how we're going to play. Right. Because it's certainly not going to be giving up 30 a game. Because if that's the case, you saw that tweet yesterday. This is the second or third most points given up by a Notre Dame defense in its history, right? You saw how the last 2 seasons went with the most points given up allowed. That's the way that this season's going to go if we don't get our act together. Arkansas could beat us. Little boy Blue could beat us. USC could beat us. We could have 5 losses, you guys, easily.
Very easily if nothing changes. Now, we'll get into Arkansas on Wednesday, but they have a loaded offense. They're putting up 28-plus points in the first half in all 4 games they've played. And that's against Ole Miss as well. Let's mind you.
We tackled better.
Huh?
We tackled better.
Yes, we did. We had less missed tackles. I'm going to get into some positives, actually. I'm going to be Mr. Positive right now. Positives. I thought Raridan did a great job, even though he wasn't getting the ball. You look at some of the blocks that he threw out. I mean, he was throwing his body out there, sacrificing himself out there. Love, it was good to see him back to his normal self. Thought he might have been in the doghouse in game 1. And then game 2, Texas A&M, credit to them. They had a hell of a game plan. And then Jadarian Price. This kid is a stud. I mean, I love watching him play. And then, of course, C.J. Carr played a hell of a game. Very accurate. This kid's a stud. And we also saw Kenny Minchie come in the fourth quarter, and that was good to see. He got some reps, and he looks pretty damn good. He threw a ball. Honestly, I thought it was good. It went off the Purdue guy's helmet, but it was a good ball. Now, on the defensive side of things, Ryan Brown went 21 of 34 for 250. I thought our rush defense was as good as it's looked all year. Only 76 rushing yards allowed, and it was 40. It was in the 40s before garbage time. So I thought that was very good to see. Of course, C.J. Carr, 10 of 12. 10 of 12. 223 yards, 2 touchdowns. Excuse me. Defense also forced 2 turnovers in that ball game as well, which was good to see. We hadn't seen that yet this year. Listen, there was a point in that game. It was 3rd down and 9. We got a sack, and everybody's up. The bench is going nuts, and then Dallas Golden gets his interception there. That was good to see. It just to JR's point there, the energy just was a little off. We get a sack, and then it's just kind of the only guy celebrating is the one who made the sack, and the energy, the identity, it's not there. With Al Golden, I'm not comparing the two, but with Al Golden's defense, everybody was up. They were fired up. They were intense. They were like sacking people and saying, looking over the guy saying, I just sacked you. What about it? There's none of that. There's no fire, if you will, Logan. Fire is the word.
No. Yeah, it's obvious, which is pretty unfortunate. To add into that, I thought Christian Gray played a lot better.
Yes.
Getting that pick was probably a big, big mental hurdle. And, in a good way, not a bad way. But it was good to see him, make a play. But to your point, like there's no swagger, and I think we talked about it last week. And I think with the defense that doesn't have any swagger, they're lost, and there's still a glaring lack of clarity of what they need to do, and they don't know. So there's no confidence, and it just seems like they're second guessing every single play, especially third down situations. In my opinion, it's just like just play, like
Right.
just celebrate your teammates, have that energy, but also like just trust your ability to make a play. And they don't have that right now, and it's an issue, especially defensively, if you don't trust in yourself.
Right. 100%. I would like to see Great House get involved a little bit. Looking at this ESPN box score, he's not even on the list, and that's the second time this year that he isn't even on the stat sheet. I think Jordan Faison though is playing his ass off. Gonna say that right now. He's right now wide receiver one, and rightfully so. Malachi Fields had himself a hell of a game as well. Micah Gilbert's coming along too. I like this Gilbert kid. One thing that I will say on the defensive side of the ball before we wrap it up here, we thought we missed Leonard Moore a lot. I think he would have helped a little bit in some of the energy, but Leonard Moore didn't play obviously, so that was unfortunate. I thought he would have helped a little bit, but Jr. After the rain delay, we got or after the second end of the first half, we got Adon Schuler back, and I think that was huge to have one of our guys back.
Yeah, absolutely. Veteran can calm the waters down. He can take over some of the communication on the field. He's a steadying presence. Again, another guy that was there last year, but we've seen him look confused
Oh yeah,
in
yeah.
some of the plays that he's been trying to make.
Oh yeah.
Rough call last week on him. We can disagree about the outcome of that. But listen, this quarterback at Arkansas, I mean, you thought Reed was a load. Reed's like 5'10", 175 pounds. This dude at Arkansas is like 6'6", 240. He's
Yeah.
a load,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it is not going to get any easier. And, guys, I hate to say it, it just might not get any better either. Let's hope it does, because we're getting worse, right? We've
Yes.
progressively gotten worse. That's the thing. It's one thing if we started out bad and we're seeing signs of improvement. I haven't seen that. I mean, we were 3 minutes into that game, you guys, and I don't know if I was texting you guys or somebody else. I'm like, this is going to be ugly. This is bad, right? And
Yeah.
sure enough, they had
It
that
was.
big play, and then that little trickery down there. To DK's credit, the Mickey Mouse stuff. But listen, that's those glaring kinds of plays. They highlight the confusion and the misunderstandings and the guys being unsure of the positions that their coaches are putting them in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope it gets better, because we got to figure it out quick, guys.
Right. There's
Nooner.
no
Nooner.
nooner. It is a nooner. We'll get to that Wednesday. Logan, anything else before we recap college football week 4? Haven't had to do that in a while.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, I know we're primarily focused on, our defense, but you have 8 wide receivers catch a ball. You have, Jay Love was really good. I mean, Jardarian Price, like,
Load.
I mean, he's definitely a top 10 running back in the country, if not top 5, in my opinion. Like, I truly think like we have the best 2 running backs in the country, 1-2 punch in the country. And I mean, that's where I think the frustration is. Like, for the longest time, in my fandom, our problem was our offense. Like, we couldn't score points. And now it feels like this might be the best offense we've seen to date.
Yeah.
And I mean, CJ, I mean, he throws the ball 12 times, and, again, like out of the 10 completions he had, 8 to 9 of them are just like I mean,
Darn.
he puts the ball, yeah, right where it needs to go. And like I mean, I don't remember a quarterback being able to do what he's doing right now, if I'm being honest. And
Right.
I know it's really early, but uh, he's special. Like we finally have a quarterback. We finally have, some wide receivers that you can make some plays in space. And
Hmm.
that's it. I have it written down. It's like you have an offense that can compete and probably win you a national championship.
Right. I mean, what was the issue last year in the national championship? We could not get an offensive rhythm going until the fourth quarter. I
You
mean,
ran a quarterback 20 times the first drive and he was dead.
yeah, right. Went literally collapsed on the sideline, puked his guts out. Man, listen, it almost it's it to your point. We talk about the defense. I'll talk about the offense. It's frustrating to see because now I know what we're capable of, and you will rewatch that Miami game, and you're like, what the hell are we doing? I mean, that where was that game plan against
But
Miami?
that's part of it. Like I think Denbrock finally knows like
Yeah.
what he's got.
Hmm.
Like this is him. Like you kind of see CJ like he's slowly just taking the leash off of CJ, and now like non X and O football guy. Don't claim to be, but it does seem like they're letting CJ loose, and I think that's part of a good corner. Like let your guys make plays.
Hmm.
Call plays that obviously they're going to be in a position to succeed, but call plays where they have opportunities to play in space and
Right.
make plays. And I think Mike's done a great job of that and finding your identity with a new freshman quarterback.
Hmm.
So either two or three transfers at wide receiver. You have an O line who's not great but improving. Like that's what we should be talking about. How does our offense keep taking steps forward? Instead, we're talking about our defense and making sure shit, do they even know the direction of forward? Like that's my issue. Like
I don't
so
think.
Still only his third game.
yeah,
Right. I mean, he's got nine more to go. Hopefully, a lot more in
pick
this.
the over every like. I know we don't do the bets anymore, but like just looking at the player props, I'm ready for him to come out this week. Like
Over,
I don't care if that number is 74
over,
over.
over.
Like
Notre Dame over, easiest money in the world. Right there. I'll tell you that. Hey, download Vandal. I feel like we could get a sponsorship. Gambling problem? Call 811 with it or whatever. All right, week 4 recap here before we head out and hit the day. Syracuse beats Clemson. The Orange are 3-1. BYOG DABO 1-3.
we could be Clemson.
Yes, we could be Clemson. I mean, after next week, we might.
Did they announce? Sorry, did they announce what Angeli's injury was?
Uh,
He's
leg.
he's done. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Fran Brown, their head coach or whatever, I think it's Brown, said that he is going to be out for a very long time, which implies done, which is just tough.
He was slinging it.
Yeah, he's a hell of a kid too. Was looking forward to that game, senior day at Notre Dame, seeing him return. Steve, I know the crowd would be into it. Steve, Texas Tech absolutely rolls Utah. Get it yourself a big gulp. Uh, Texas Tech rolls, and it's orange like my hair. Yeah, give that guy some. Anyway, Texas Tech dominates Utah on the road. Tech's legit, guys. Tech is legit. They are winning the Big 12, and I think the Big 12 is going to be special this year. It's going to be a hell of a ride in the Big 12. Oklahoma survives Auburn 24-17, and another blunder from SEC officials. They are terrible this year. They are awful. They made a really bad call that cost Auburn the damn game, and they made a statement saying it was the wrong call. So that's even worse.
Yeah,
That's
they're a week late on that.
yeah, exactly. No shit. Uh, Michigan holds off Nebraska, and let me say this right now: I am done betting Nebraska. They are on the no bet list. Done. 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 And before we get to that, The Cincinnati Reds currently hold a playoff position. Logan, I'll give you your glory. Not going to give you the glory on the Bears, but I will give you the glory on the Cincinnati Reds playoff.
Guardians are sneaking up there too, right, JR?
About to win the division.
15 back like a month ago.
One game away from the Tigers.
Wow.
And they're about to win the division, in my opinion. All right, and lastly, JR will like this. The Indiana Hoosiers embarrass Illinois 63-10. IU is way better than last year. They finally get a signature win. It's not Old Dominion. It's not Kennesaw State. They finally prove to the nation that you want to see us play a top 10 team again? This ain't last year. Beat the shit out of them. And that was pretty cool to see. 63-10. I will
Is that
give
a compliment from Ginger?
it is. I will give IU their respect now. I will. That's all I wanted to see. Last year, their fans were mouthing off. Da 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 da. We're a good team. Then they play a good team and get beat by Ohio State, get beat by us after a cakewalk of a regular season. This year, well, you finally got what I asked for, a top 10 team, and they beat the living piss out of them. And so, yes, I will give IU their credit. Hell of a team. And I think they got a tough schedule coming up. If they can go 1-1 against Penn State and Oregon, which I think they will, hint, hint, pretty damn good team Six got. All right, we are back on Wednesday to preview the Arkansas Razorbacks. It's the first ever matchup between Arkansas and Notre Dame. All odds are pointing towards a shootout. We'll break it down and preview it on Wednesday. Until then, go Irish.